Hi there, Michael Lovato here at the Triathlete Mag House, and I'm joined with this guy who's Marino Vanhoenacker from Belgium. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for the invite. Nice place here.
Yeah, we enjoy the view. So yeah, it's a great spot. And as you guys out there know, this guy, he doesn't really need an introduction in the sport of triathlon. He's been around for a few years. He's got an incredible resume. To me, I think I count 9 Ironman titles, but I've been known to give you a few extras. Is that right, 9 Ironman titles?
I think it's 11 by now.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. See, I took away because I think the last time I saw you, I added.
Yeah.
So 11 titles. The most recent was in Ironman Canada in Whistler a couple
exactly.
months ago.
Yeah.
And then a few years ago, I don't need to summarize his whole story, but he has had a second place here. Yeah. And then last year, a DNF.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
exactly.
Marino, I like to dive in with some of the hard questions, but I'm going to start with some easier ones for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do that.
The first question is, and this is fascinating to me, and you tell me what you think, is you know, this sport actually has a pretty rich history with Belgian athletes doing well. So to you, as you were progressing, and there was obviously Luc van Leert and Rutger Bekke came in, and then you came in and took the mantle over for a while, and then I think a lot of us say, oh, he's going to win this race.
Yeah.
And then another Belgian won it. You know who it was, Frederick van Leert. So what did that do to you? Did it sting? Did it fire you up, or did it really matter?
You know, I didn't really need Freddie to win it to sting me to come back. You know, this is why I do this sport, Ironman Hawaii, and yeah, I mean, it was and it still is on my list of things to do. And I got close a few times, but didn't make it to the end eventually. And I mean, yeah, it's like still something that's open and that I need to fill, and I better start filling it quickly from now on.
Yes. Okay. Well, yeah, you still have a few good years, I think, in you. But to that point, the triathlon community saw you go through some struggles last year with injury, and I think we saw this nice consistency up until then. And so a lot of the pundits were saying, well, Marino, I don't think he can make it back. And then now you've just dominated at a recent Ironman Canada. You've come back and you've shown that you're every bit as strong and as good, if not better, than before.
Yeah, it's been strange. My career basically was a consistent career. I never had big injuries. I had troubles sometimes for a whole season, but I could train through it and still win big races. But the thing with consistency is that you sometimes miss out on the really big ones, where the guys that really know to peak or just sacrifice a whole season for that one race get the better out of you. And yeah, I mean, last year I was sidelined for the first time in my career, and that hurt a lot, you know, not to be here, not to be able to race the guys. And yeah, it made me also to start being patient with my body. Before I just pushed and pushed and pushed it, and it complained every now and then, but it hung in there, and then until it broke, and then I had to come back. And you know, this time last year, honestly, I doubted myself if I was ever going to be able to do this as a professional athlete, because this injury obviously was so much more severe than I and everybody else expected. And it took me forever to come back, and I think the curve is still going up now, and I just hope I make it, or I made it in time.
Okay, great answer. Yeah, thanks for the insight. I know it's a tricky thing, and you just said, so you doubted, and as an athlete to have that doubt, that's tricky.
Yeah, I mean, it was scary and really uncomfortable for me, you know, and something I really hate. For the first time in my career, I didn't have the stuff in my own hands anymore. And I like to be in control of things, or as much things as possible. And yeah, in this case, I mean, everything was taken away from me, and I just had to, you know, I had to wait and see, and wait what the body would do and how it would react, and if it would heal quickly. And if so, if there was still a chance to come back, and even the fitness afterwards, I thought with the base I have from 15 years of doing this sport, give me a month and I'll be probably not winning, but getting close to the wins again. But no, it took me more than a year to win my first race again.
Wow.
So,
yeah. Okay. Well, that certainly speaks to the gravity of the injury and the setback. So, You just said something else, I think control, and it makes me also think, again, I've heard you say how hard you push yourself, that you have a mechanism that you've developed that just switches off. You don't pay attention to the pain. So I set it up. The question is, in Kona, a race that historically doesn't reward sort of switching off.
Yeah.
I just love it though. How does that strength, which is pushing through all this trouble, and the desire to control, how does that help or hurt you in Kona?
Well, I think up until now it mostly hurted me. I had more bad races than good races over here, and yeah, if you don't listen to the signals, or you just don't feel or hear the signals anymore, that's probably not the best thing to have coming into this race. But yeah, like I said, I've trained patience for the last 1.5 years, so maybe I get away with it now.
Yeah, great. Well, that's actually what came to mind. You just being forced to wait, I think, is fascinating. So maybe you have a deeper bag of tricks, more skills. So again, you had a DNF, sorry, in 2012. A DNS did not start last year. Now suddenly it's been 3 years since you finished.
Yeah.
You're still
4 years actually.
Oh, 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank
so
you
a third place and then 2 DNFs.
Yep.
And then a DNS. So.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been. It will be 5 years since I've ran on a lead drive. Well, the last bit to the finish.
Okay.
So I have to change that.
Yes. Well, I think you will. So what about the changes in the race since you were here last?
Yeah, I mean it's it's been changing rapidly, the sport. You know, there's not that younger kids, but for us they seem young.
Yes.
And they bring the speed they have, and yeah, it's something that we have to cope with, experience and just strength that we build up through the years. But I mean, there's no chance we're gonna match that speed, like match speed for speed. So we have to find other solutions. And in some interviews I said I've been looking for solutions to keep these guys under my thumb for the last 10 years, and I reasonably was able to find those solutions. But I mean, at one stage in my career there will be a time that they won't do the job anymore. But until now I managed, so I hope I can manage one more time.
I love it. That's great. That's great. Wow, it's fascinating. So just a quick question too. I know your wife races. How fun is it to be able to share the sport with your wife?
Well, she actually quit after my last DNF. She was kind of done with the sport. I mean, she did more than 20 Ironmans, was here for 3 or 4 times, and yeah, it was time for something else for her. It gave me a little bit more time to focus even more, I guess, on this sport. But it's a good thing and it's a bad thing, you know. And the good thing is I don't really have to explain that a whole lot, what's going on here and how important this race is, and what you need to do to get here and to get here in a good shape. The only danger is you don't want to take triathlon over your whole life, you know. Sure. I'm 100% focused if I'm training and if I'm racing, but as soon as I take the shoes off or the bike is in the garage, I want to lock that door. Yeah. And I want to talk about or be able to talk about other stuff in life, and that's something you have to watch if you both do the sport.
All right, good for you. That's good to see that balance even with a champion like yourself. Great stuff. So last bit of the interview is just a rapid fire question. So I'll just shoot some questions at you. Do you drink coffee race week?
Yeah.
Do you use the AC race week?
What's AC?
Air conditioning.
Yes.
Do you wear compression socks?
In race week, yeah, and for recovery, but not for racing and training.
What about in public at the grocery store?
Not at the grocery store. Then I take them off in the car and jump in the shop and then put them back on when I get in the car.
Have you ever or will you ever do the underpants run?
Never ever.
Do you abstain from any sort of activities, nightly activities, if you catch my drift?
If I do them or not?
If you do them or not?
No. I mean, my wife is not here, so.
Good answer. Good answer. Okay, Marino. Well, thank you so much. It's a treat to have you here. It's going to be really fun on Saturday to watch you race. And thank you for being here. All the best. Good luck.
Thank you.
Folks at home, tune in again. We'll have more interviews this week from the Triathlete Mag Hangout.